Yo, what's up, Chaos TV family? What's up, Chaos TV Network? It's your boy, Chaos Hero, here again, once again, with a new deck profile. Now, it's been a while. I've been out to sea. I've been busy, basically from double drifts due to the holidays and, back to school. So, if you guys are still into Yu-Gi-Oh!, if you're still into dueling, bit of a quick tidbit. Just want you to know, I had to take care of some business due to the fact that I have, a job and, they need me. Other than that, a little bit of an update. I will be trying to get done with the Red Archfiend archetype or Hot Red Archfiend stuff for Troy Boy, as well as the Cyber Angel deck profile I will be doing. If you haven't seen my Super Heavy Samurai deck profile, you should check that out. As far as Fire Fist and Glad Beast, I will be working on it. Just be patient with me. The site that I order from is usually out of stock, so I have to go to another resource and outsource to another site. If any sites want to sponsor me, hashtag, Yugi-Men, hashtag the bomb, hashtag crackhead shipping. It's awesome. It's really awesome. What I mean by crackhead shipping is more of a compliment because those guys will literally deliver that stuff like within a day of you ordering it. But other than that, this deck profile is going to be on this special archetype. Two special archetypes that I decided to fuse together. Yeah, that's right. It's a dual archetype deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's the first, the second, if you want to count my evil heroes, or the third if you want to count my Fright first, because they're a Fairy Fiend build. But you know me, if you know anything about my channel, I am heavily into archetype purity. I don't really do anything outside of archetype differentiate outside of anything else unless it's necessary. And it's a key point of what it is. Outside elemental heroes, evil heroes, and I guess erotics, or my sperm whale deck, aka hashtag Orwell, aka sperm whale, I don't really outsource outside of the archetype itself. But this is going to be an epic archetype, which is Kaiju's Graydle Impact. Now, if you don't know what Kaijus are basically the form of the history of Kaijus. This is also a series of tokusatsu. Now, tokusatsu I'm a big fan of. If you haven't seen my toy or featuring review segment of the channel, go check that out. I did a review on Kamen Rider as well as the movie and the action series TV show of the original 90s Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, White Tiger Zord, and Ninja Movie Megazord. So go check those out if you want to. I also did Kamen Rider, Mask Rider Torque, as well as Kamen Rider Anki. As far as any other tokusatsu stuff, I haven't got around to doing anything. I was thinking about getting some other figures from the tokusatsu series, such as a Red Deku Ranger. If you guys don't know what Deku Ranger is, it's SPD Red Ranger in America. But it was a little pricey, so I'm going to have to take a little bit of a rain check on that, as well as the other Kamen Rider figure. But let's get into the deck profile itself. Now, here's the deck as a whole. Now, I know what you're thinking. Chaos, why are there two stacked cards? Well, I decided to do the archetype list separately when it comes to the main deck. For as far as extra decks, so far, I have two Graydle Dragons, which is a very good card, and it's a very, very good back row sweeper, and I really think it's literally efficient. Now, Graydles is more of a part of an alien invasion, which is another archetype series I kind of like, but I never got into. When I first got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Around the GX series, there was an alien invasion archetype, which I think it's Secret Alien Agents, I believe it was. And then it was the worm slime invasion, I think. And then it was Graydles. And Graydles kind of intrigued me because it was a little bit different from what the other alien invasion archetypes were. It wasn't just overly saturated, okay, these are aliens, they come from outer space, blase, blase, they're invasions, they're hunters or something like that. Now they're just regular aliens that just morph into whatever they want to just basically protect themselves, which is a really, really cool thing. It's kind of like, a symbiote thing. But as far as anything, let's get into the deck profile. You already see the extra deck, ain't really much to look at. Just going to put him off to the side. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to start off with the staples. As far as generic non-archetype staples, 1 copy of Torrential, 2 copies of Quaking Mirror Force, and 2 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon. You already know what those guys do, and they're automatic staples, so I really shouldn't have to explain it to you, to be honest with you. As far as Graydle support, you need only in the main deck 1 copy of Graydle Slime. Basically what Graydle Slime allows you to do, and if you want to, I'll gladly read it out for you. If this card is in your hand, I'm sorry, I throw this a little at you. My apologies. If this card is in your hand or in the graveyard, you can target 2 Graydle cards you control, destroy them, and if you do, special summon this card. You can only activate this effect of Graydle Slime once per turn. When summoned this way, you can target 1 Graydle monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Special summon the target in defense position, which off the rip, it is a tuner, and it's a level 5 tuner. So it allows you to summon another Graydle that makes it easier to go into Graydle Dragon, which is very easy, which is really easy to get into with this archetype. And just a little bit tidbit, I will be splitting these 2 up later on in the month because I want to build these 2 archetypes separately so I can show y'all what it looks like with these 2 archetypes just separate without them leaning on each other. As I said, I do my deck builds for fun, and I do them most of the year. And if you have Slime, you can't have Slime without little old Slime Jr. Look at this cute, adorable little guy. So cute. But, yeah, he's basically a tuner, a level 4 tuner. That's an aqua and it's a water tuner effect. Basically what his effect is, I'm just taking this over to read. When this card is normal summoned, you can target 1 Graydle monster in your graveyard. For the rest of that turn, you cannot special summon other monsters except water monsters. Also special summon that monster, then you can special summon from your hand 1 aqua monster with the same level as that monster, as a special summon monster. By this card's effect, when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Graydle monster from your deck. So basically, it allows you to special summon 1 Graydle monster from your deck, target 1, and then just so on and so forth. Which basically still rounds you back up into getting into Graydle Dragon a lot easier. Then we have 3 copies of the level 3 Graydle Alligator. It's a water attributed. Well, basically all these monsters are water attributed. And it's an aqua monster. Basically, each Graydle has a various effect outside of the slime family, outside of the regular standard slime family. These Graydles have an effect to where each one represents a certain type of card. Alligator, basically his effect activates either when he's destroyed by battle or spell. And basically all these side Graydle, basically the support Graydle, engine Graydles, Graydle cards, actually have the same end effect with the rest of them. You attack an opponent's monster or get destroyed by a certain stipulation, you get to take control of that monster, and you get to put the exact Graydle that was destroyed to that monster. So let's go into Alligator, for instance. Alligator, if he's destroyed by spell or by battle, you can target 1 monster on your opponent's side of the field that is face up. If it's successfully destroyed, not still got to play, not, removed from the field or sent to the graveyard. Yes, that means, you can't really, like I said, Superconductor Tyranno cannot really trigger these guys. They have to be destroyed and sent to the graveyard. Destroyed and sent to the graveyard. Now we got that cleared up. You can take control of your opponent's that opponent's monster, and basically say, okay, I'm gonna put this down here, and now he's mine. So for prime example, let's just say, what is a good example? What is a good example? Now let's say, my opponent summons out Swordbreaker. I summon out him, Alligator. Now, there's a spell card on the field that destroys him. The effect still triggers. I get to take control of him, and I get to put Graydle Alligator down to the spell and try card zone, and I equip this to him. Or, what I can do is, I can take the risk, or on a small monster, suicide into him. Bam. There you go. Trigger a spell or trap card that can chain me into Graydle Dragon, or Synchro Summon, make the magic happen. But that's only if it's a level, not a rank. So that wouldn't work with Swordbreaker. But what I'm saying is, as far as outside of Slime and Slime Jr., Alligator, Eagle, and Cobra have daggone near the same effects, but each one has a special added stipulation to it. All of them, if they're destroyed by battle, can take control of an opponent's monster. They have to be destroyed by battle, though. But each one, outside of being destroyed by battle, still can trigger their effects by being destroyed by 3 very situational ways. Alligator, spells. Eagle, effects of monsters. And Cobra, by traps. So let's say if your opponent decides to trap hole, this would be a good use for him. If they mirror forced it, yep, same thing. Also, one little bit of a tidbit, most of the trap holes may not trigger it. Bottomless is one of them. I think Floodgate might be one of them as well. I'm not really sure. Don't count me on that. But like I said, I just play this game for fun. I don't really play for full well knowledge to be a smart individual. I just play for fun and enjoy it. As far as staple trap cards, I run 1 Graydle Parasite. Basically, what this card does is, when an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon 1 Graydle monster from your deck and attack position. If you control no monsters when a Graydle monster you control declares a direct attack, you can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon that target to their side of the field. If you control no monsters, you can only use each effect of Graydle's Parasite once per turn. So this effect is pretty interesting. It's pretty unique, but I only run 1 of these because, it's like I said, it's very situational. It allows you, if your opponent attacks you directly, you have no monster in the field. If you have a Graydle in the graveyard, let's say you want to throw up some deep, or you want to trigger an effect. All you even have to do, check this out. Now, let's say if I have Cobra in the grave. Okay, my opponent goes for a direct attack. Oh no! Well, guess what? Activate Graydle Parasite. There you go. Activate his effect. When you destroy by battle, take control of that monster. Now it's mine. See how that works? But you'll probably see it on an episode of Top Down Throwdown. I'll be doing this Memorial's Day. Be sure to look out for that. Then 2 copies of Graydle Split. Now, what Graydle Split does is target 1 face-up monster you control. Equip this card to it. It gains 500 attack during your main phase. You can send this card, you can send this equipped. Okay, you can send this equipped to a monster. Wait, hold on. I think I'm reading the wrong line. You can send this equipped card equipped to a monster by this effect, my apologies, to the graveyard. Destroyed monsters this card was equipped to, and if you destroy the monster this card was equipped to, and if you do special summon 2 Graydle monsters with different names from your deck, but destroy them during the end phase, you can only use this effect of Graydle Split once per turn. So basically allows you to get to a quick synchro summon if you can get to that. So it doesn't really target a level, it doesn't really make sure a level. But whatever monster it's equipped to, let's say if, like I said, let's get to the scenario. I have 1 Graydle Split face down. And let's say I play, Eagle. Eagle takes over and takes control of Swordbreaker. I have Swordbreaker on the field. Around my opponent's next, let's say if another turn passes and this card's still face down the field. Flip over Graydle Split. Activate Graydle Split's effect. Destroy Swordbreaker. Destroy the cards it was attached to. Send that card to the graveyard as well as Eagle. Allows me to summon 2 Graydle monsters with different names. Doesn't matter what levels. So I can go into Slime, Eagle, Alligator, or Cobra. Then Synchro Shokan, get out Graydle Dragon. Boom, magic just happened. And that's the reason why you need 2 of these Graydle Splits in there. It's a really good way to get into Graydle Dragon if you want to get into it. Then, last but not least, 2 copies of Graydle Impact. Now, let's see what Graydle Impact does. Graydle Impact is a continuous spell card. You can you can target one other Graydle card you control and one card your opponent controls. Destroy them. During the end phase, you can add 1 Graydle card from your deck to your hand. You can only use 1 Graydle Impact effect once per turn, and only once that turn. So basically, you can't use 2 of these cards' effects in one turn. Otherwise, if they didn't, this thing would have been on the ban list, or at least at 1 by this point. Because, dear God, that would have been too OP. But basically, all it allows you to do is allows you to destroy 1 card on the field as long as you have a Graydle. Now, let's say, you want to combo something into that. Okay, let's say if you wanted to do... let's say if you have Alligator. Alligator is a perfect example for this. It isn't... I don't think Alligator really stipulates if it's destroyed by your opponent's spell card. It just says it has to be a spell card. So, as you can see right there in the fine print, it just says it has to be a spell card. Or by battle. So, let's say I play Graydle Impact. Destroy Alligator. Destroy whatever card they say it's annoying back row or front row. Get rid of it. Bam. Just activate Alligator's effect. Yep, and I can target 1 monster on my opponent's side of the field, take control of it, bam. He's back on the field. Then we can do a Synchro Shokan, make some magic happen, combo into something else. It's always a bit of synergy, especially with Graydles, and I love that about Graydles. And I can't wait to build a pure archetype around Graydles. It'd be very interesting and intriguing, my apologies, and to say the least, it'd be very, very, very fun. But let's get into the other half of the archetype. So I'm going to be real brief with this. I'm going to be real quick with it. Basically, I'm not going to explain what the cards do. I'm pretty sure anybody that's even ran or even played YGO Pro knows what Kaiju do. But this is what I run mixed in with the Graydles. 2 copies of Kaiju, Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, because they're limited to 2, so I ain't going to try it. There's a reason why they got put down at 3. Then 3 copies of Kaiju Files, which is a continuous spell card, which is very useful. For the main field spell, for the Kaiju end of this build, we get Kyoto Water Tower, which is the main Kaiju engine field spell. Then as far as trap cards, we got Kaiju Capture Mission. Now, as far as the meat and the stars of the deck that I run in this recent build, Thunder King of the Lightning Kaiju. Three copies of Humongous, the Stinging Kaiju, the Sticky String Kaiju. Gamma Seal, which is basically Gamera, the Sea Turtle Kaiju. And the most splashable dino in existence, which you can even run in dinos or with True Kings. Some of the True Kings, Dogoron, the Mad Flame Kaiju, which is basically Godzilla. So that's about it. This is what I hope to. Sorry about that. Hope to expect in the run in the pure Kaiju build. I will be building these decks separately, which will be really fun and interesting. But let's get into some side deck list options. Now for toolbox side deck options, I keep one extra copy of Graydle Impact, 3 copies of Graydle Combat, 1 extra copy of Slime and Parasite, and 1 extra copy of this cute little fella, Slime Jr. Look at him, he's so adorable. As far as everything else, main deck, 1 extra copy of Gator, Cobra, and Eagle. And as far as Kaijus, we got basically Mothra or Godria, the mystery dust Kaiju. And we have basically, I think, the Mecha Kaiju, basically. Jurizoroku, I think. The Star Destroyer Kaiju, which is pretty dope because he is a machine. He's a light machine. And that's about it as far as anything else. Now, like I said before, I will be trying to split these 2 archetypes up to see how they stack up as pure archetypes. And when I'm done having my fun with that, I will often, kind of switch them back into each other to where it's making it very interesting. But other than that, this has been a very interesting deck profile. I love the build. I love the archetype around it. Aliens with Tokusatsu Kaiju. It's really interesting. It's really fun. It's really awesome. I don't mind it. If you're a big fan of alien archetypes and at the same time you're a big fan of Tokusatsu and Kaijus, my suggestion to you, get this deck, get this exact build if you want to. Now, if you want to do Kaijus pure, that is you. By all due means, to me, that's a very intriguing idea and very experimentally awesome. Pure Graydles would be even more interesting and very more awesome. Other than that, this has been your boy Chaos Hero, and I just sent out the Chaos to wish you all a happy Labor Day, a happy and wonderful, safe weekend out there. And, just enjoy every bit of life that you can, because you don't know what might happen. But spend time with family, enjoy life. TCG, always enjoy what you do. It's not always about, getting wasted all the time. But it's also about enjoying life and stopping to smell roses. But other than that, like I said, on another note, side projects that I will be working on trying to push other TCGs, like I said, a little bit more harder. Pokemon, I am getting around to pushing that TCG a little bit more on this channel. Just be patient with me because we've been trying to focus on Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetypes as well as other archetypes in various other TCGs. Force of Will, I will be trying to push. Unfortunately, if I can't get a big fan base behind it that much, I will be having to put Final Fantasy, the TCG, on the back burner due to the fact that most of my friends, unfortunately, can only juggle certain TCGs. Most of the group that's with us right now either does Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Force of Will. and a good majority of us do magic, but it's not that severely hardcore. So don't expect any, on and popping stuff when it comes to stuff like that. But other than that, it's your boy Chaos Hero, and I just jumped at the Chaos to show you what's good for you. I'm out. Love you guys. Happy Labor Day.